Welcome back to the John Fredericks Radio Show. This is Mike Rubino guest hosting for John Fredericks, the Godzilla of the Truth, the Oracle of Deplorables. I am joined now by Diamond and Silk. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. I saw you at the rally in Tulsa, and you guys were really on fire. So why don't we dive right in right there? What did you tell those rally goers?
Listen, make sure you vote red, R-E-D. Remove every Democrat. Mm-hmm. We want people to vote right so they won't get left this time. When we look at everything that's happening in our country, a lot of this stuff is organized chaos.
That's right.
Planned chaos to put us against each other. They use persuasion with now what they're considering a credible threat to take and play with our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want people to really understand what's going on here. Something that we probably experienced but didn't know we were in one. But now that people are woke, we already know that something is not right.
That's right.
Something is completely off. Mm-hmm. We just can't put our finger on it. And I tell people to stop reacting, take a pause back, and let's respond. Because when you react out of emotion. But when you respond with logic.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Now, something that I find to be very illogical is the Democrats and Dick Durbin stonewalling Tim Scott in the United States Senate. I wanted to get your take on his police reform bill, what the president is doing for police reform, and just the entire Black Lives Matters movement as a whole. What's your take?
Well, let's talk about the Black Lives Matter movement.
Mm-hmm.
That movement is the Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about the organization. To us, seems like a propaganda organization where corporations have pumped money into it.
That's right.
But that money doesn't seem to go to Black lives. It goes to another entity that distributes that money. Another thing, the owners or the ones that is supposed to be over Black Lives Matter, the founders, they already put out that two of them are trained Marxists.
Yeah.
Well, a Marxist is somebody that's trying to turn something into like a communist atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So what are they trying to do? Turn this country into a communist country? And then if this is supposed to be about Black lives, why is Black Lives Matter, the organization, making this political?
Mm-hmm.
You saying you're trying to bring down Trump. You're trying to get him out of office. So is this really about Black lives? Is this really about George Floyd? Or are you participating in this psychological warfare that's going on with the rest of with everybody else?
That's
with
right.
the left to try to take down a duly elected president.
That's right.
So that's what people need to look at.
And a lot of times, a lot of people use these the Black Life organizations and chapters and different things to use Black people as pawns for a white liberal agenda.
Right.
So it's time for a lot of Black people to wake up and realize this ain't about you, baby.
You're being used to the highest level. Understand this is planned.
That's right.
How do they know where to meet? All of this was already organized and planned because they know that they can use the ignorant.
That's
and
right.
Ignorant just means unlearned. It's nothing bad. They knew that this will spark off something, and this will have people in the streets acting. This is no longer about George Floyd. This is a whole nother agenda on a whole nother level. So I'm all for people doing stuff in the name of Black lives, but I will not be pumping my fist in the name of an organization called Black Lives Matter. We believe that all lives matter.
That's
Imagine I'm Black and I see white people out there talking about white lives matter, trying to beat me up because of my Black skin. Absolutely not. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable with it. And listen, we shouldn't be bowing down to each other. We should be bowing down to God, but we should be walking hand in hand and understand we are Americans. We are one.
That's right.
I love that. So, what Dick Durbin on the floor of the United States Senate. He spoke out against Senator Tim Scott's bill. What do you think of Senator Scott's bill?
Well, first of all, I thought Senator Scott's bill was phenomenal. You know, it should have been bipartisan to push that bill. But what concerned me with Dick Durbin, who happens to be a white left-leaning liberal, calling Tim Scott's bill a token. That was racially insensitive.
It was.
It was racially insensitive. And here's what I don't understand: the Republicans didn't call him out on it.
Right.
You know, we Republicans, we've been Republicans since 2015. But I'm just taken aback about how the Republicans just sit and they take it. Dick Durbin should have been called out on that. First of all, you don't make those comments. You know, they talk about white power and white supremacy. Well, all of that started in the Democrat Party. Look at this white left-leaning liberal called Dick Durbin go call a black man his bill token. That was racially insensitive. And listen, these people are supposed to represent America, but they have another underlying agenda when it comes to different races in this country. It all started with the Democrat Party. And if we're going to dismantle systemic racism, we must dismantle the Democrat Party, who put the systematic racism in place.
That's right.
Well, ladies, yesterday, Donald J. Trump tweeted, "The Lone Warrior," was all in caps with an exclamation point, and you got a retweet because you said, "We the people are with you." You subtweeted him, and he retweeted you.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something. Whenever you're in a psychological warfare, the first thing they want to do is reduce the attitude and the excitement of the supporters.
Yeah.
President Trump has his pulse on this nation. He's galvanized the whole world. The left do not like that. Why do you think they don't want him to have rallies? Now, isn't it interesting that when everybody was out there pumping their fists and they was out there in the streets protesting, they didn't make it mandatory for you to wear a mask. You could be out there protesting.
Even Corona went away.
That's right. It was nothing about coronavirus.
That's right.
Then the president said, you know what, we're going to start back doing rallies. All of a sudden now the numbers are going up. People better, instead of looking at something and hearing something, you better look into what's happening. Now, what they not telling us in the media is look at the mortality rate on this here. You have a 98% chance of recovering. People are not dying for this syndrome, but when you have the media keep putting in your ear the numbers of deaths, all you think is, oh my God, it's going up and people dying everywhere. And I think the media plays a big role in this.
So actually, we have a choice here. You know, we already have had a taste of this tyranny. We've had a taste of dictatorship when it comes to these Democrats governors and mayors, how they want to keep everybody locked down. They don't give 2 cents about your livelihood or your businesses. So if you want to continue that and want to defund the police, then you vote for that, because you're going to be controlled like a slave, like a third world country, no better or different than Venezuela. But if you want your freedoms, you want your constitutional rights to be respected and not trampled upon, and you want to keep your Second Amendment right and your First Amendment right, then you need to vote for Donald J. Trump.
And I'm not telling you to vote for the party. I'm telling you to vote for the person. I didn't ask anybody to like Trump. I'm telling you to vote for Trump. Our liberties and freedoms are going to be taken away if Biden get in. What they're trying to do is push globalism, a new world order. I know they want to say it's a theory. No. There's something happening.
Yeah.
And they are trying to use the American people to do it.
That's right.
And you have to ask yourself, why are they trying to take down Trump?
That's right.
Why won't you let this man do his 4 to 8 years?
And why are they trying to use Joe Biden to do it? I think the Democrat Party should be investigated and convicted for abusing the elderly.
That's right.
Well, let's talk about Joe Biden. You mentioned the person, right? We're going to vote for Donald J. Trump, the person. So let's talk about Joe Biden, the person. The press conference yesterday, his policies, everything. Tell me what you think.
He wanted to raise taxes. And it sounds like he wanted to mandate vaccines and things of that nature. People better pay attention. Listen, I have a problem with supporting anybody that can't take a consonant, put it with a vowel to form a word.
That's right.
Okay, this man does not look like he is functioning at 100%, not even a good 50%.
That's right.
Okay, really, he's been hiding in the basement. They're trying to hide him and trying to just give him something.
That's right.
He's going to have to answer. He can run, but he can't hide. And also, he is also racially insensitive. When you look at some of the things that he said on the Senate floor, and then he had the nerve to call our president a racist. No, Joe Biden, you're the racist. You the one said you reached across the aisle to segregationists. You didn't have to reach far because they were in the Democrat Party. You was the one holding your hand in hand with Robert Byrd, who was a KKK member. Well, now he's a former KKK member. You the one stood on the Senate floor and referred to black people as predators and said they need to be out of society. You the one did that. So who's the real racist? Who's the real white supremacist? That's what people need to be looking at, especially black people. You better know who you voting for.
And he's been in government position for over, almost half a century?
That's right.
Over 47 years. In 8 of those years, he was a vice president to a black president. And then he's done nothing for black people?
That's right.
Get out of
What
here.
is he going to do now? When they had the chance to do police reform, why didn't they do it?
That's right.
Because they weren't concerned. The only time they seem to be concerned about a black body is when they need a black vote.
That's right.
People is going to have to wake up. Don't allow people to push people in your face because they backed by Obama. Because when you look at Obama and some of the things that he did, that look a lot like treason to me.
That's right.
And what people got to do is stop being misled because you see Obama. Obama is not the president. Obama has done a lot of nasty things that's coming out. And let me tell you something. Anytime you plot to have a citizen locked up in jail for no reason, I can't trust you.
That's
Biden
right.
was in on it.
Yep.
I can't trust you as a citizen because if you do it to Michael Flynn, you will do it to average American citizens. I don't trust you, and I don't care what color your skin is. It's wrong.
That's right.
Well, so two things now. So one, I want to plug your Twitter handle to all of our listeners, at Diamond and Silk, right? At Diamond and Silk. Now, you two had the privilege of testifying. I believe it was Ted Cruz that called you up to testify in front of Congress?
It was Steve King.
Steve King.
That called us up there to testify in front of Congress about these social media platforms. You know, we started being censored on social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And so they called us up there. But you know what was so funny? I thank my Republicans. Don't get me wrong. I love them for calling us up there, giving us a seat at the table. But I looked at the Democrats. You have two black women, conservative women. They consider us as minorities, sitting in front of minorities that didn't want to hear what about our freedom of speech, how our First Amendment rights was being taken away from us. They didn't want to hear that. They're okay with you destroying your country, marching in the streets, but they didn't want to hear that. That's just like when we were on stage in Oklahoma the other night. MSNBC, Joy Reid had a split screen with protesters acting a fool in the streets and Diamond and Silk. They would prefer for us as black women to be acting a fool and tearing down statues instead of being on the stage acting like patriots in America and telling everybody that we are one and we can get through this together. It is so sad and so sick when I look at Democrats. They don't want us to come up. What they want us to do is to stay stuck so they can continue to throw money at a problem. They continue to skim off the top and leave everybody left at the bottom. That is the truth when it comes to these Democrats. So while we were up there testifying, the Democrats didn't want to hear anything that we had to say.
That's right.
But I thank God for the Republicans that gave us a seat at the table.
And we also thank God for Diamond and Silk now having our own social media platform at chattit.com, CHATDIT.com. Over there, we don't censor you. And if you don't like something somebody else is saying, then block yourself.
And also, we have a book coming out.
Oh, you do?
2020. Yes, it's called Uprising. Who in the hell said you can't ditch and switch the awakening of Diamond and Silk? And you can pre-order the book at diamondandsilkbook.com. Yes, that's going to be out August 2020.
Oh, that's exciting. Now,
Exciting.
What are you two doing to get the president reelected? Obviously, you go to the rallies. What states are you going to go to?
Listen. Understand that back in 2015 and 16, they didn't have us all in the media. So what we got to do is the underground work. We are on a globalism plantation, okay? We are trying to pull everybody out of this mindset, what they're trying to steer us into the left, okay? That's what we're doing. So we're doing our underground work. We're talking to people. I'm telling everybody to vote Trump. I don't care who you are. Vote both vote. If you love my black life, if you are a white life and you love black lives and you love my black life, then you will vote for Trump. If you are a black life and you love other black lives and you love your black life,
and love white lives,
you will vote for President Donald J. Trump.
That's
he is the only one standing in the way you are for these people not to do a full-fledged global takedown and take our country into socialism, something that we ain't never seen or experienced before.
That's right.
Well, we only have 2 minutes left, lady, so I want to just cover one last thing, and that's the president's accomplishments, right? There are many that you can sing. What is your favorite thing to talk about that this president's achieved? Is it the First Step Act? Is it USMCA? Tell me what it is.
Well, listen, first of all, let's go back to the unemployment when he had it at an all-time low. So I know if he did it that time, he can do it again.
Okay.
The First Step Act, giving people a second chance. The opportunity zones, building up the inner and urban cities, giving more money to HBCUs than any president in history.
That's right.
Gave them so much money and say, hey, you don't have to come back up here every year. Everybody that go to a HBCU should be pumping their fist for Trump and should be voting for Trump.
That's
because
right.
it's because of him that they have the funding that they need.
And he done all of that in 3 years compared to Obama, who is a black president that did nothing in 8 years.
Absolutely. So people, you better look at who's working for you, who wants you to be prosperous. And one more thing. People come from other countries to obtain the American dream. They run for socialism and dictatorship and communism to come over here and obtain the American dream. We don't want nobody taking our dream and having us living in a nightmare. That's why you have to vote for Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
I completely agree. Well, ladies, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. I want to thank you for your contributions to the party, to the movement, to the president. You have been courageous. You've stood up against what you believe is wrong and what is right. And let me just do a little plug. It is diamondandsilkbook.com and then at Diamond and Silk, right?
That's right.
That's right. And the social media platform is Chattit.
Okay.
ChatDIT.com.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. This was really fun.
Thank
you
you
for having us.